Do you know what a Zimbabwe is? No, not the country in southern Africa, but a Zimbabwe. No? What about a Zinachino? A lip pillow? An African shuggie? An Osama Bin Laden? No? Well, let me introduce you to the wild world of nicotine pouches, better known as ZYNs. And all of the influencers, or ZYNfluencers, who have decided to make it their entire personality. ZYNs are these little white packets of joy filled with flavored nicotine. They are designed to be tucked under your lip and moving the biz better known as
Good morning, boys. Popping a little.
These little white packets have recently become all of the rage among Gen Z TikTok users. Even so, that an entire subculture has blossomed around them, along with its own humor, language, and slang.
Holy fucking Indiana Jones, Monica Lewinsky, Bill Clinton tech? Is that SNL lip pillies? Are you kidding me? Dula can be pillies, like I'm playing MW2 Dula can be models to the dome piece, buddy. Where's your head? I don't even know. Call me Dracula, buddy. Little double ripper, double decker, like we're taking a tour bus in New York City. Are you kidding me? Upper deckies.
If the ZYNs don't give you cancer, these videos sure will. This young gentleman that you just had the displeasure of seeing on your screen is our first ZYNfluencer of the day, and his name is Freezer Tarps. And while there's lots of people who casually make one-off videos about ZYNs or live stream with ZYNs in the background,
come and take it, motherfucker. Come and take it, motherfucker. Ain't nobody's gonna tell me how to live.
ZYNfluencers like Freezer Tarps have built entire empires with millions of followers, dedicating themselves almost exclusively to creating content about ZYNs. For free! Not sponsored.
How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could rip upper decky zinnies, upper decky lip pillows, Ferda. Hey Phineas, why's your head shaped like a isosceles triangle, you loser, buddy? You're literally off an Addy Rain, your mitts are shaking like pendulums, buddy.
Supposedly, Freezer Tarps here makes content aimed at adults. And with his interview with the New York Times, he even said that 95% of his audience are over the age of 18. So please tell me why there is a video out there of him pretending to be a 6th grader who needs a jolt of nicotine before a spelling bee.
Please, Mrs. Johnson, can we please go get rippers in the bathroom? Elsa, you're kind of a MILF? Brett just called Mrs. Johnson a MILF. W-Riz, side-eye, how's your mother? I'm sorry, Mrs. Johnson, I was just speaking what came to my dome piece and I can't help but say it. Something my baru. Brett, relax, pal. Mrs. J, can we please go rip?
Now, Creeper Tarps, I'm sorry, Freezer Tarps here is also an entrepreneur. How? Because not only does he sell his own ZYN-inspired merch, but he's also launched his own line of mouth pouches known as upper deckies. Now they look just like ZYNs, but instead of being filled with nicotine, they are filled with caffeine. Which is funny because, like, if you need caffeine, just have a cup of coffee. Or, you know, some tea, if you're British. But clearly, you see, I'm not the target demographic here because my age assumes that I have a cup of coffee every morning. But kids who have never sipped a latte in their lives, well, these pouches might be perfect for them, okay?
Deck the halls with upper deckies, buddies built like a pretzel rod. How is your mother? Top shelf. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Upper deckies, orange creamsicle. These things are ridiculous, low-key. Locking into a 15-hour ranked couch. Capiche?
And isn't it convenient that these little nicotine pouches are completely legal to sell to minors? You know, unlike nicotine pouches. Surely Freezer Tarps wouldn't be, you know, exploiting young kids' desire to fit in and mimic their favorite influencers like Freezer Tarps, right? Right?
Hey, Dad!
I'd also like to add that Freezer Tarps here is an avid live streamer on my favorite blood money live streaming platform, Kick.com, which is owned by Stake.com, the biggest gambling website in the world. So Mr. Tarps isn't just encouraging a lifelong nicotine addiction. He's also asking you to double down and roll the dice on a little gambling habit. Because why stop at one vice when you could collect the whole set.
See if this pigeon's dealing any hands. Come on, boys. Whoa, he did some weird tech. 10. Oh my god. It's alright. It's alright.
And while you're at it, make sure to steal your mom's credit card and use the code CHETTY at checkout. But don't worry, ZYNfluencers aren't all about promoting nicotine to children. Sometimes they're really into arts and crafts. I mean, they got the boys making epoxy tables, the Leaning Tower of Ziza, a 911, and a Zinc, which is, you know, like a tank, but for losers. The ZYNfluencers also seem to be really into making fairy lights. Like, way too into making fairy lights. Because nothing says romance like some upcycled nicotine pouches. Am I right, ladies? Well, the ladies aren't any better because they're out here making Zyn bouquets and Zyn cakes for their boyfriends. I mean, we love a supportive girlfriend. Well, that's until they have to clean up.
Life is funny. One day you're nervous for the first date. The next you're picking up his used Zyn pouches off of every surface in the house.
But behind the bright lights of upcycled nicotine pouches lies a hard truth. And that's the fact that nicotine pouches aren't very good for you. And they might give you some receding gums.
Receding gums. Can you see? Oh, sorry, this one is Zyn. That's probably why my gums are receding.
If you've ever seen these before, Zyn are these flavored tobacco-free pouches that are meant to induce relaxation because the active ingredient is still nicotine. Pouches are meant to be put between the lip and the gum like Emma was showing, and it releases nicotine, which is then absorbed into the oral mucosa, kind of like this. Now the problem is that the active ingredient is still nicotine, so when you hold this against your gums for a prolonged period of time, it can actually constrict blood flow and cause recession, which unfortunately cannot be reversed, so Emma may be looking at getting a gum graft in the future. A gum graft is a procedure done by a periodontist, so if you look at this recession over here, they would take a little piece of gum tissue from the roof of the mouth and then do a procedure where they place it right over the recessed area. This is after a gum graft where the little piece has now become one with the rest of the gums.
The worst part of this for me is I know for a fact that most health insurances in America don't even cover dental, and especially the young adult demographic of Zyn users probably don't have like the top healthcare cover, so they're just wreaking havoc on their teeth and on their wallets. But if you're going to do Zyns, for the love of God, please don't shove them up your butt. Oh man, I wish I was joking, okay? People are lodging nicotine pouches in their buttholes and foreskins for a buzz. Health experts warn it can cause skin damage and lead to addiction. Oh yeah, and also don't drench them in deer blood. Zyn soaked in deer blood. Don't fade this biohack. Biohack. Oh, that's how we're calling this? The content of the blood, especially in wild game, renders it a very powerful nootropic. Even more so when reacting with nicotine. Nutrient dense and saves the digestive system energy. Why do you think endochrome is a thing? Doctors have warned that engaging in this odd wellness hack could expose you to terrifying zombie deer disease, a growing threat in the US. The lethal condition known medically as chronic wasting disease causes deer to develop zombie-like symptoms like fatigue, disinterest in food, drooling, and difficulties in walking. Some authorities have warned that it's possible that the disease may pass from animals to humans following contact with blood or tissue from a sick deer. Can we not start the zombie apocalypse, please? Thanks. But even if you use nicotine pouches as directed, there's still a mystery box of dangers that we haven't even discovered yet. I mean, smoking risks took literally decades to become common knowledge, and it will be exactly the same with Zyns. And already they're linked to heart issues like hypertension and heart disease. But despite the known dangers, ZYNfluencers online continue to hype the product up, and some even going as far as claiming that they possess magical abilities. And one of those influencers is called Daddy Wellness.
Holy shit, is that a pheasant? Is that an eagle? Is that a falcon? Oh no, it's a little sugar glider coming straight to my lower deck. Some like to pray, some like to meditate. I like to do a little African sugar sunset walk as I look at the birds, look at the squirrels, and feel the breeze hit my forehead. Arrivederci.
Now, Daddy Wellness here is a self-proclaimed healthy degenerates, who's captured the hearts of nearly 1 million followers across TikTok and Instagram. But what sets him apart from other wellness influencers? His relentless devotion to promoting ZYNs. Because nothing screams wellness like a minty nicotine pouch, right?
The question that everyone's been asking, what are African shuggies, Zinchinos, Zimbabwe's? The biggest lesson of the year. Today's lesson is a deep dive on African shuggies, aka the Bobway SWOT analysis. What are African shuggies and where do they come from? The African sugarcane comes from the country neighboring Zambia. It is a small cotton pouch with a little bit of nicotine salt called the Bobway sugar. You must become 21 years of age to become part of the tribe. Now moving on to the SWOT analysis, starting with the strengths. 24/7 dialed laser focus. You don't need food for survival. They taste fantastic and your Johnson will grow by 1/4 inch. You also might start buzzing and shaking on the ground like a tweaker. Secondly, moving on to the weaknesses. If you are not prepared to consume African sugar with coffee, you might experience periodic sharding. Addiction is a serious risk when it comes to Bobways, and also they are very expensive. The world's most expensive sugar. This can run you a lot of money depending on how many tins you're consuming every single week. Thirdly, moving on to the opportunities. Rockets will be on their knees. Be careful with this one. You also save the lungs and you become eligible for the Zimbabwe passport as soon as you make your first purchase. And last and least importantly, the threats. There are none. You become lethal.
I love how the only risks Daddy Wellness mentions are cost, addiction, and sharding. Talk about a slap in the face after decades of anti-smoking ads. But don't worry, Daddy Wellness isn't the only one spreading questionable information, because the top ZYNfluencer, none other than the former Fox News anchor Tucker Carlson, has claimed that ZYNs have cured his erectile dysfunction.
Yeah, but the truth is ZYN is a powerful work enhancer and also a male enhancer, if you know what I mean.
Really? Talking erection, huh?
Yep. There's no election fraud with ZYN.
Wow. Yeah. I don't know if I want a ZYN supported wiener, you know? I don't know.
I think you do.
You think so? Yeah. Oh, yeah, because you want people to get addicted to it.
Just close your eyes.
Oh, damn.
It's like that.
That's the neighbor saying, hey, it's real quiet over there.
Just whack it on the nightstand.
Oh.
Now, I'm no expert on erectile dysfunction. I know that it's something that all men experience at some point in their lives, and there's no shame in getting some help for it. Like maybe try putting on a video for some inspiration. Like Tucker, I hear you're really into those sexy M&Ms.
The green M&M, you will notice, is no longer wearing sexy boots. Now she's wearing sensible sneakers. The other big change is that the brown M&M has, quote, transitioned from high stilettos to lower block heels. Also less sexy. M&Ms will not be satisfied until every last cartoon character is deeply unappealing and totally androgynous. Until the moment you wouldn't want to have a drink with any one of them.
Now, Tucker Carlson here has actually become quite a prominent figure within the ZYNiverse. And while Philip Morris International, the parent company of ZYNs, has never officially endorsed any influencers or celebrities, Tucker has taken it upon himself to become the brand's unofficial spokesperson. I mean, he's mentioned his love for ZYNs in so many podcasts and interviews that people now call him Tucker Carlson.
A boy that one of my daughters was dating in New Year's 2020 was at my house, and he pulls this out. I'm like, what is that? He goes, it's the future. It's a non-tobacco nicotine delivery device where you get all the whole grain goodness of nicotine, but none of the downside, none of the carcinogens. And I was like, I think I'm all in. So we drove to 7-Eleven and I stocked up. I got all the different flavors, coffee. They have a lot of intriguing flavors, I would say, but I stuck with spearmint and it's been a massive life enhancer. I'd really recommend it to you.
It's just funny how like many people, like our audience and probably yours too, just will get behind you just because of that.
Our audience probably throws in ZYN bombs like crazy.
Don't get me going. So I use it, every second I'm awake and in bed. I'm not embarrassed of it.
You sleep with one in or no?
I don't, because I don't want to choke on it. But seconds I read in bed. So seconds before I fall asleep, I take it out. I've never had one of my dogs eat a ZYN pouch, though I'm not against it, because I think they would like it.
It's really troubling that Tucker thinks that his dogs would enjoy the nicotine pouches, because tobacco products are actually super toxic for cats and dogs, and nicotine pouches specifically have a dash of xylitol, which is lethal for dogs. So no, Tucker, your dog would not enjoy eating your ZYN pouches. But hey, in the wild ZYNiverse, animal abuse seems to be actually common practice.
You got it? There we go. There we go.
Animal cruelty isn't funny at all, man. You must be fun at parties. I don't know what parties you guys go to. Oh, and another one. Killed a fish for a few likes on IG. So cool, bro. It was very entertaining and was indeed pretty cool. Was worth the few likes, on God. Okay. Y'all a bunch of liberals. It's just a Zyn. And it's empty. I didn't realize that not enjoying pollution and a touch of animal cruelty makes me a liberal. That says more about you than it does about me, honey, okay? Now, I could spend this entire video bombarding you with countless examples of xenophiles handing animals Zyns just to rack up some internet likes. But we would be here forever. So if you are curious, check out the meme account Zimbabwe Club, run by none other than Freezer Tarps. He loves posting animal cruelty content in order to promote his upper decky pouches. But why stop at animals when you could influence a whole new generation of future consumers? That's where the very popular Nelk Boys with over 8 million subscribers on YouTube alone come in. Right before Christmas, they uploaded this video over 4 times before it was finally deemed inappropriate for people under the age of 18.
What is that? Gentlemen, you've lost control. This is the greatest day. Do you mind if I run for it? This is incredible, gentlemen. I stand in awe before this.
This is a conventional tin of Zyn. This is the largest Zyn tin in the world. The volume of nicotine in here could save the world. There's enough nicotine in this container to alter the course of history.
That's how you negotiate a ceasefire.
100%. And just drop this in, and everyone's like, you know what? I'll calm down.
Fun fact, about 10% of the Nelk Boys audience is under the age of 18. That's over 800,000 kids that might have seen and been influenced by this clip or, you know, all of the clones of it on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I mean, who doesn't love seeing little kids develop a lifelong nicotine addiction that might decrease their lifespan? Anyway, join my Discord, follow me on Instagram, and subscribe. I love you. Bye.